just because I know that our man Pucho, I think, would have to have this question. What was the problem with Power Rangers?
I'm
It was
asking that myself.
violent. It was the same problem with the Double Dragon. It promotes violence. We're beating, me and my brother would watch Power Rangers.
And then you get all hyped up in that kung fu, dude.
And we started kicking each other. And my brother would get really aggressive with me. Like, we will start to fight for real.
I love it.
So, yeah, my mom, was not feeling that.
Maybe your mom was right that you guys weren't ready for Power Rangers.
So far, our next topic, we'll let my man DJ Doey Fresh set it off for us, since it is his topic and I don't know too much about it, and he's going to enlighten me on this new wave of energy that is coming.
Wicked. DJ Doey Fresh in the house. How's it going, guys? There is this new thing popping up that is getting people conflicted on. And I think we need to just talk about it and see what the feeling is in the room. It is a subject that a lot of people have an issue with. It's called Drag Time Story Hour. These are normally performed in public libraries or schools, and it is, drags are men or women, they, thems, that dress up and they perform in front of children. In this case, there is no nudity. There is no risque stuff going on. This is just solely them reading children books to kids.
Mm-hmm.
What type of just any children book, like Dr. Seuss and stuff, or like what?
I mean, I'm not too sure what the reading material is. I would think that it is progressive, forward-thinking reading material, though. What some people would like to call woke, right? It's trying to normalize It's trying to normalize different genders, different ideas. And I think it's healthy in some ways. I think it could be very healthy because when I was growing up, I grew up in a very anti-gay, anti-homosexual. I grew up in a religion that, first of all, that was like, you're going to hell. If you know what I mean? And once I got out of that way of thinking, my life became a lot better. You don't have to hate anyone. You don't have to judge anyone. It's not your place to judge how someone lives their life. And to be completely honest, you're carrying all that with you all the time. Oh, I hate it so much. Why do you want to even carry that with you? It just seems very silly to me to care so much about someone else's life and the way they want to live it. So I think I think this is fair.
Do you think that is it fair for someone to say not the fact that they care about how someone lives their life, because I don't care how someone lives their life, but how they affect the people who don't live that lifestyle, like by not forcing it on people, but like putting in front of people who necessarily don't want like their kids to see certain things just yet. They're not old enough to understand, so they want to kind of shield them from it. Because like just the other day, I saw me and Luca was watching a movie on Netflix, and I noticed right away that the guy's son was gay. And when it was coming on, my son don't know nothing about that. He don't know anything. He's a kid, just sees cartoon characters flying around. And I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, my son was like 8, maybe 9, 10 years old and watched this and not knowing any idea or what's going on. Like, it's going to change his train of thought, right? Because if he sees his parents growing up, kissing each other, or men and women, that's what he sees, right? I'm not saying that's what it needs to be. And then he sees a TV show and it's different. Not necessarily bad, right? But are like this gonna start throwing questions up, and then you got to answer it, and then maybe you're not ready to explain it, or he's not ready to really understand, because you don't never know how kid's gonna capture it. So almost like the storybook time thing. Like I don't know what they're reading to the kid or what they're trying to push onto them, or if that's the right word. I don't want to seem like I'm starting an agenda here.
Yeah, I think that's a charged word, like trying to push something on
Yeah,
them.
that's why
When a lot of people, that's their argument is like you're pushing your sexuality, but aren't we all doing that?
Yes.
Isn't that what every single person is doing? Like you're pushing some sort of agenda on your child, whether it's a heterosexual agenda or
religion.
I just feel like this is another version of that, but I feel in my time as a man and getting older, I don't think it's right to persecute these people for reading a book to some kids.
No. Yeah. I don't. I think there should be an age requirement or something, right? Like there's. I don't know.
for a lot of these, I don't know about any like in schools or anything. I haven't looked into that aspect. But I mean, for a lot of these, like you're not going to the library and they're just going to force your kid into this or anything. You're not going to the bookstore. They're going to force your kid into this. These are events they schedule, right? Like these are, you're bringing your kids here to experience things. There's one here in Austin where they do, it's always children books they're reading, right? Like they're not like, it's not like anything crazy that they're reading. It's children books they're reading. And there's one here in Austin that it's bilingual. So you can, experience different cultures potentially that way. If you're a family that's not bilingual, or if you are a bilingual family, that you can, show your kids that things are accepted like that. The way that I've always thought about it is they have like these, you've heard about like the princess story times, things like that, right? Where like they'll read like princess stories and the woman will come in dressed as like a princess. I think of it the same way. Like drag performers are just, they're very like vibrant kid kind of colors. Like a lot of the drag performers I see, they have these very bright costumes and these like exaggerated, like awesome, like, makeup themes done on their face. I think it's cool. I think that there's something about like the way that the drag performers present themselves that kind of vibes with children. Like they're over the top performers and they're performing to kids, and kids are the people that eat up kind of over the top performers.
Think about it this way. If you hire a clown for your kid's birthday, are you pushing a clown agenda on your child? Like it's weird that we only look at things this way when it comes to homosexuality or it comes to some sort of pushing the boundaries. I find it weird that we don't call anything else like pushing agendas, only when it comes to like gay people.
Well, the initial reaction to somebody who's not open-minded would be like, because that's normal, right? And then because that's the initial reaction. Like, oh, like I'm not pushing an agenda on my son if I'm kissing my wife. That's just normal. That's because we love each other. The same thing for gay people, right? Like I don't think when they're doing it, they're pushing an agenda. Even the word push or agenda, like this is making it seem like I'm like on some fence shit. I'm just saying like what they're saying, like it doesn't have no effect, right? But I think as a father, new father, I don't think my son need to be somewhat exposed to certain things at a young age. Like let him be developed, let him understand, let him, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think that it's simple. Like you brought up like the example of like a gay character appearing in like a TV show or something or a movie or something, and you don't know if you're ready for that conversation. But the conversation, I think it's simple, man, because kids are simple. You just tell them like, yeah, those two love each other. Those two are in a relationship. Those two are dating. Whatever. Like it's simple. You don't have to go into like the specifics of like being gay or talk about how persecuted gay people are. Those are all conversations for a higher level or things like that. You can just keep it simple.
Yeah, it's always a topic though. Like a lot of people, there's always conversations about it. Like some people will go really hardcore no, some people will be really hardcore yes, and most of the time there's be middle people who just wants a little understanding on what limits should be set. and it is very tough. It's almost like I don't even know if it's a good comparison. It's just like slavery. You know what I mean? Like how they're viewed, how black people were viewed, African Americans were viewed going through the 80s and all that. Like, you know, white people looked down on them like second class citizens, like lower beneath them. And a lot of gay people get that same reaction too. I don't know if it's a lot like it is now because it is like being normalized more. But back in the day, like who was it that was telling us like back in the day, like if someone found out that they were gay, their parents would fucking like jump on them and try to like fucking send them to some type of counseling or some shit.
Yeah, there's
those conversion therapy things and
that
shit like that. Like, and that shit is wild.
It's terrible. I read recently, it's this camp run by this church, and a lot of people are coming out and speaking against the time that they had there, the abuse they received.
Wow.
It was basically they just make you do a lot of manual labor, and if you misbehave, they will not feed you. They will tie you up to something for hours at a time. It's just like very weird forms of torture, it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the same concept of conversion therapy, is to basically torture the gay out of you, or push or forced labor so much onto you that the only thing you want to do, it's same thing with torture. A lot of the times you torture someone, a lot of the information they're going to give you is either going to be extremely true or extremely false, because they just want the torture to stop.
Yeah.
They'll tell you whatever. Oh yeah, he's over there, absolutely. Stop torturing me.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild that like torture is still like this. Like some people swear that like that's the solution to so many problems. That we just need to torture more of these people, and then we can figure out where all the bad guys are. Cops aren't even allowed to torture people in that way. Granted, I think a lot of the shit that we do with like the criminal justice system is akin to torture and forcing people to take plea deals and things like that. But they're not actually like, they're not waterboarding you, at least at the police station or anything like that, to get you to sell out your homeboy that was selling something down the corner or something.
That's waterboarding you for information. That's fucking beast. Shit.
Right? Half of the time, all they need to give you is McDonald's, bro. You ever seen them niggas bring out the McDonald's and the detectives? And bro, them people start talking right away. And it's like, damn, bro, some of these people just are hungry. Like literally, they don't eat, you know what I mean? I'm like, that's wild.
You get a number one with a cigarette. They good to go. The first 48 show that shows you that shit.
Yeah, some of the conversations around this topic I think are not necessarily bad. I have a problem with the way that a lot of it is presented though, because like when you start talking about like the agendas and the gay agenda and shit like that, most of the time what people are talking about is just the fact that gay people exist, and they're like they showed this gay person in a show. This is part of the gay agenda, and it's like, no, man, gay people exist and they happen to be in this show. It's the same reason that we love seeing diversity in TV shows. So as a group, I think that none of us have ever been upset that they have more Mexican people and Latino people and black people and brown people in TV shows, because we love seeing that. We exist, and shows like Friends pretended like it's all white people living in New York, and we're just now getting to see ourselves in spaces. It's the same thing for gay people. It's the same people for drag performers. It's the same people for all kinds of people. It's not an agenda. We exist. Let us be in the media that's pushed out.
I gotta be 1,000,000% complete. I feel like anybody who hates any other group of people that much, I just don't want to be associated with them or like around them. Like, oh, you're homophobic? Thank you for letting me know. I know that you're over on that side now, and I can not fuck with you appropriately. I don't have any room to even explain it to people. I'm just like, one time my friend told me there's a war going on. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, it's on the TV and they're trying to expose our children to gay ideology. And I don't want my kid watching that. And, you know, and that's all fine and fair. Everyone Like my mom did not let me watch Power Rangers. My mom didn't. My mom did a whole bunch of shit that a lot of people would be like, "Oh, that's so beast," but that
Power
was the way.
Rangers.
That's the way my mom wanted to raise me, and that's what happened. You know what I mean? Your parents get to raise you up to a certain extent, and I
Mhm.
think when if you feel like your child is not ready for that, that's completely normal, right? To get nervous and be like, I don't think my kid is ready for this.
Mhm.
That's completely normal. And if somebody explains it like that, like that's cool. It's just how much of that is attached to hate and actually hating those people secretly and not like it sucks. People are just playing out outside with it. And
Ju- Just because I know that our man Pucho, I think, would have to have this question. What was the problem with Power Rangers?
I'm
it was
asking that myself.
violent. It was the
Was
same problem with the Double Dragon. It promotes
Gotcha.
violence. We're beating, me and my brother will watch Power Rangers.
And then you get
We
all
start
hyped up on that
karate
kung fu,
chopping.
dude.
And we started kicking each other. And my brother would get really aggressive with me. Like, we will start to fight for real.
I love it.
So, yeah, my mom, was not feeling that.
Maybe your mom was right that you guys weren't ready for Power Rangers.
Shit's crazy.
So I think more or less it was, just trying to curb the action in our lives.
I didn't realize y'all were going full SpongeBob and Sandy Cheeks in your karate matches.
Yeah, me and my brother had great battles, and it was crazy. Well, there was one time we had like this. You remember the little Tonka toy thing with the yellow roof, and it's just like you could push it. It's like
the
a little
car,
cart,
the little red
the
car.
little cart.
Yep.
We would set up, milk cartons, stack them up, just push it.
Through it.
Yeah, and it would just go everywhere. We did that with all sorts of stuff. We did it with the big wheeler, and then we put a milk carton on our heads for protection and just ram each other.
Yo, so just to get back on topic, is it a problem that now the story time thing? Is it an actual person dressed up as a drag reading the story and all that?
Yes.
Do you think that's a bit excessive, or that's just trying to promote, like, okay, this is the norm. I'm reading it, like, or can it just be them in regular clothes? Like, why do they have to be drag outfits?
I think it's I don't know the exact reason why it started. Honestly, I haven't looked into the roots. I would assume it's just they're performers. That's how they perform, and it started at some libraries where they were just doing some outreach. I mean, they're performers. I don't know if you've ever been to a drag show, but they're just very over the top. There's big personalities. Drag shows are a blast. There's so much fun.
Yeah,
It's
I've never been
just
to one.
lip syncing and dancing and music and just big awesome makeup. Varied. Some of them are doing more like realistic makeup. Some of them are just very much like over the top performer style. It's fun stuff, man.
Yeah, I've never been to one. Not once.
But yeah, as far as like why specifically this started or how, I could not tell you. I don't know.
Doe, you've been
Now,
to one, right? Doe, you're on mute.
You're muted, bud.
Yeah, I went to one with Mateo when I was in Austin, and I've been to one up here as well, and it's a lot of fun. The bar that I go to, they host RuPaul's Drag Race. And when they do the drag race show, they have a lot of popular drag queens there. It's a lot of fun. The place is packed when that shit is
They
there,
get packs?
and it's a real good time. If there's one thing that I could say about gay people and my friends that are gay, bro, they know how to have fun more than anyone else I know. Like they know how to have fun. And they know how to go out and enjoy themselves, and it's a real fun time. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy myself. I laugh, and it's nice to interact with different people. Personally, I love the fact that New York is so culturally diverse. There is a layer of racism here. Like, don't get it twisted. This is not
Yeah.
like saint and sanctimonious New York. Like, there is a level of racism, but we all learn how to live with each other, and we all learn how to tolerate each other, and it's nice. To be completely honest, you have a lot of my neighborhood it used to be a bad neighborhood, so a lot of the remnants that are still here, we're collabing with them now, and it's cool. I like it a lot. I think people should get to know their neighbors, and if their neighbors so happen to be gay, get to know them. You know what I mean? Know that they're not gonna be a danger to you, and you know what I mean. I hate all the shit that comes associated with it, because I've met a lot of cool people, and it's a lot of the things that I used to believe when I was high schooler, middle schooler, when I was in religion. I don't believe in any of those things anymore.
You're a changed man.
Yeah.
It's good. It's positive. Change is good, always for the better. You know what I mean? Some things don't need to be changed, and some things do.
Yeah.
And the view on people, treating people with respect. Like you said, you ain't got to like what they're doing. You ain't got to treat them with respect. They're a human being just like yourself. They got emotions. They got feelings. They got, you know what I mean, their own shit that they deal with day to day. At the end of the day, just respect somebody, and that's it. Respect their wishes. Respect what they, even if it's negative. I'm not saying like, even racist people or people who are homophobic, they, whether or not their views are clouded or whatever, just respect each other. Don't, you know what I mean? Don't disrespect. Have your opinions, because everybody has them, and keep them to yourself if they, if they're super negative and shit like that. So
I don't know if I'm completely on board with that. I'm not saying that you should punch Nazis in the face, but I'm never going to tell anyone that it's bad to punch a Nazi in the face.
I would rather know someone's racist and know their intentions, so I could stay away from them. You know
Same.
what I mean? I don't want to fuck with somebody who's secretly a racist. I would not want that to happen. So, Proud Boys, let yourselves be known in the chat. You know what I mean? First of all, if you haven't already, let's get those likes up. All right, we need to get these likes up. We need to get these subs up, and we need to get these shares up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, these algorithm games we're trying to play here, we do it for y'all. Okay?
y'all.
Also, if you're experiencing any type of depression, we know this time of the year, the sun goes down very early. It's seasonal depression time. You're always welcome to come into our chat, into our Discord. You know what I mean? Talk to us. We can share movie recommendations in these, dark times.
Mm-hmm.
And we're always here for you, and your family's always there for you. You can talk to your family and your friends. I know sometimes it feels hard to do that, but I think it's important.
Let us know if you think Wolverine has a refractory period.
Yes. There's a South Park episode that Jimmy keeps getting hard-ons, and in front of the class. Yeah, he keeps getting hard-ons in front of the class. Yeah. So
All right, perfect.